Today on Scotty and Rico Make a Podcast. A lot of people don't know this, but you used to be a pet trainer.
It's not whether it works or not. You don't know what other behavior you're installing. Just like with kids, just like with anybody, when you use aggressive behavior.
Well, that's what's great about these pets is that this unconditional love.
Things that you want to be is the source for their attention and the source of compensation for their behaviors. Who is trouble?
A dog from a wealthy owner that has more money than you and me.
Okay. Got it.
What's the matter? Is Timmy in the well?
Timmy in the well again. God damn it, Lassie.
So, here's the thing. Originally, we were going to talk about a movie that I wanted to watch on Netflix. I thought it was going to be a great movie and it'd be great to talk about. And that movie was called A Glimpse Inside the Mind of Charles Swan III.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched it, and it was complete shit.
Who's the actor in it? I saw is a famous actor.
Well, there's a couple. There's Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen, right?
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray, that's what
and Jason Schwartzman.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. All right, so already you've got a good cast of characters.
I'm still going to watch it. I'm glad I procrastinated and not watched it, but then now I'm curious because if it's that bad, I want to see it. So.
Well, imagine
Studio 54.
The director is Roman Coppola. You know the whole Coppola family.
Yeah.
All right, so
is Jason Schwartzman is a family member of his.
Yeah. Okay. So do you know another Coppola that doesn't have the last name Coppola?
It's a lady. I forgot.
I don't know what the lady. I mean, there's a daughter that's also a director. She did Lost in Translation.
Yeah.
But there's another Coppola that changed his name, and he's a very famous actor.
I don't know.
He was in A Vampire's Kiss.
Oh, Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, he's a Coppola.
That's right. Now that you say, I remember hearing that before.
Yeah. All right.
Awesome.
So
good trivia tidbit.
I imagine that Roman Coppola watched a lot of Wes Anderson and David Lynch movies and goes, I want to do that. I want to make the weirdest goddamn movie I can make.
Oh, okay.
And I watched the movie because I like Wes Anderson. I like David Lynch.
I like too. Yeah, they're weird. I mean, some people don't probably hate their movies. I'm pretty sure a lot of people out there, they're like, I don't get it. But there's some weird feeling when you watch one of those movies. Yeah. You're like Fantastic Mr. Fox. Right? I love that movie. And
the Grand Budapest Hotel. I'm a huge fan.
Royal Tenenbaums.
Right. I like Mulholland Drive. It's one of my favorite movies. And it's weird. I mean, there's blogs online about what some of the things mean in that movie. And nobody knows.
Right.
So there's this movie, this Charles Swan, and you get this feeling where they're just trying to be avant-garde.
I got you.
And it's just...
It's a little pretentious at times.
Yeah.
I hear you.
So I'm sitting there with Corey trying to watch it, and I want to like it, and I just can't force myself enough to do it.
And there's that part of you when you watch like an indie film or artsy film that really wants to like it, and then you realize maybe I'm not artsy enough, or maybe I'm just not smart enough or something, but I'm just not enjoying it, and I don't get it. And it's okay if you got like someone else enjoys it, but I think a lot of people approach it with like, this is stupid. But it's like, you just don't get it. You don't like it. It's okay. Move on.
Right. Well, that was, if someone else there likes it, then hey, great.
Good for you.
Yeah.
The world's your oyster, apparently.
Right. All right. So here's a news story that is the inspiration for today's podcast.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
story that's been heard all around Facebook.
Yeah. Well, I'm a new parent.
That's right.
So
the naysayer. You said you would never, ever, ever, ever be a parent.
Well, so here's the thing is that my wife, she really wanted to have a dog. And I said, no, I don't have the lifestyle to have a dog.
I'm selfish.
Right.
I don't want
another
human being. I mean, another creature, another human being.
Yeah.
Another creature in my life.
Right. I can barely take care of myself. I'm going to have to take care of a dog.
Right.
No. So I don't want to have a dog. And for about a week, she kept saying, I really want a dog. So we had this adult conversation, and I had to explain to her about our busy lifestyles.
Responsibilities, what you have to do.
Right.
You gave her all the bullet points.
I did. And
you had a PowerPoint. You had a PowerPoint.
Yeah. So now we have a dog.
Right. That's how that goes.
Well, here's the thing, though. Since we've gotten this dog, we've had her for a couple of weeks now, and I am in love with this dog.
Right. And I knew you would. Like, the same thing happened with my dad's always been a animal naysayer. Always no, I don't want it. No,
Right.
they're dumb animals. Blah 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 blah. Maybe not that mean, but like he, that's what I felt when I was growing up.
That's what you heard. Right.
That's what I heard from everything he would say. But the minute we got our first dog, he was like always cuddling with it and things like that. He didn't go to the extent of being like the super parent of the dog or anything like
I
that.
was telling you earlier.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah, no, not acting crazy, but it was funny. And then when I got a cat, and I remember my first cat that I had, and bringing it over the house as a kitten. And he would sit there, and he had a dog on his lap and a cat on his shoulder, and I would just crack up because this is the man that I grew up. No animals suck, and blah 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 blah.
Right. So here's my experience with our dog Foxy. So Corey goes online to this site called Good Karma, and this particular dog, someone had abandoned the dog. And it went to one of those societies. I'm not too sure which one it was, but the dog was crazy in the place. I'm sure she was scared and didn't know what was going on, barking, and people said she was very aggressive.
Right.
So they were going to put her to sleep.
Wow.
And this Good Karma came in and they took her out and they put her into our foster home.
Oh, nice.
She stayed for a couple of weeks and then went to another foster home. But Corey found her on the site. They had a picture and a description about the dog, and she contacted them to get some information. And then we decided that out of all the dogs, we really liked this dog. We liked Foxy.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, this dog is very cute, and it does have a fox tail.
Yeah, it looks like a little fox.
Yeah. So we contacted Good Karma, and we said we're interested in adopting. And they said, okay, great. They sent a person out to our home to make sure that we're not crazy and this is a safe environment, which I thought was great.
Yeah, that's awesome because sometimes you never know.
Yeah, I'm glad that they're doing a checkup.
Right.
They're not just giving it to anybody.
Right.
And then from there, they had the foster mom come with Foxy to our house and make sure that everything was good, that we get along with the dog. We like the dog likes us. The woman shows up with Foxy. Foxy walks in the house. Now, Corey had bought this really nice bed for any dog we get. I mean, it's super soft and comfortable. Foxy saw it, walked right over to it. She stood on it, and I'm like, oh, she feels like she's at home. And she started circling, like she's going to sit down and be so comfortable. And she took a shit right in the middle of the bed. And I was like,
this is what I think about.
I'm home. This is mine, bitches.
That's what I think about your gift.
Yeah.
I'm not happy.
No, she's been great.
She's good.
Yeah. Right away, she's been nothing but love.
Right.
So it's been a great experience.
Yeah. I think for all the naysaying, whenever you have your first dog or animal that you really get attached to and everything like that, you really put all that behind you. You're all of a sudden like a convert into the new world of, animal, dog lover, cat lover.
I don't want to leave the house. I don't even want to go to work. I feel so bad just to leave her at home. And we have a camera that watches her to see that she's okay.
Right.
I'm checking this thing all the time. Now, we had to go to lunch with some friends, and I had the camera when we first got her.
Right.
And she was howling. And I couldn't eat. My stomach was in knots. I'm like, this poor girl. I just want to go home. So you'll never see me outside of podcasting. I'm going to be home with this dog.
That's what it is. It makes you go. I remember when I got Sierra. Sierra's my cat, which is a pretty funny story with Sierra.
Yeah.
Because Sierra is Matthew, if you guys have heard him in previous podcasts.
We heard him in the episode about tabletop games.
Right.
And we also heard him when he filled in while you were away.
So Matt had to give up Sierra due to some allergies that Carolina when he got married, and she was pregnant or something like that. So obviously can't have the cat if you're going to be sick, understandable. So she gave it to Carmelita, which is another good friend of mine. Mm-hmm. And Carmelita kept her for a couple of years, I think. And but then Carmelita got 2 dogs. Yeah. And she's they're a handful, those dogs are. Now they're calm, but like when she just got them. Yeah, and poor Sierra, I mean, she's a pretty chill cat. Yeah, and when she was younger, and I remember this, she was a little feistier, and she don't like to be. It's on her terms at all times, right? So a lot like Matthew. A lot like Matthew. That's true. They take after their owner. And it's funny because whenever I would go visit Carmelita, she would always be hanging outside kind of looking like she didn't want to be there. Not to say anything about Carmelita or anything. Obviously, this is just the cat is just
the environment,
that she's in, and she seemed like maybe I'm interpreting too much, but like I felt like I was like, you know what? Like, and she would always come to me and sit. Like when I would go over there, we'd hang out because like Paula was living there, my sister and Russ, all our friends.
Yeah, and
we'd be hanging out, and she would come to me and just sit on my lap or just hang out by me. So eventually, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm home alone. Like, I have like this big place for myself, and you know what? I told her, you know what? Can I take Sierra? And she's like, yeah, go ahead. Like,
wow.
you can. And so I brought her here. And she took a little bit of time to get accustomed to, her new situation. But pretty soon she was the queen of the place. And she literally walks around like she owns the goddamn place.
Yep,
like,
I've seen her do it.
Yeah, and then when people come here, she takes a shine to them. She changed so much over the span of these last couple of years.
It's not too often that I've seen cats socialize.
Right.
Unless they really know the person.
Right.
But Sierra will hang out, and she'll come up and she'll rub up against you and purr.
Right. And I've had people like sleep on the couch, and she'll come and like they'll wake up with her on their chest or something like that, and they're like,
I hear that's when they're stealing the soul of a person.
That's true. That's what she does. So yeah, I mean, oh my God, like just having her around has been so cool for me. Like we watch TV together.
Yeah.
We watch TV together. We sometimes eat together. Like I'll go eat and she'll like just go to her bowl. When I go outside and hang out by the patio and everything, she has to come with me and she has to hang out with me.
Well, this is great about these pets is that this unconditional love.
Right. And she just has to be there, and she'll meow the crap out of me if she'll sing the song of her people if I don't pay attention to her or do what she wants,
Yeah.
So
I read that cats don't meow to anyone else. Like they won't meow to themselves, to other cats. But they only meow to people.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh well. I know there's one cat outside that I think he's trying to get with her because she's a plump lady.
Yeah.
She's like a voluptuous little kitty.
She's got curves.
She comes around this little raggedy cat. That he looks like he's been roughed up, and he comes and hangs by the gate just like in the old Tom and Jerry cartoons.
Yeah.
And he'll sing like this meow that's like just like meow, like just like, and I'm like, God damn it, like I feel like just like in the cartoons and going out there and throw a shoe at him, and I was like, she don't want you. Get out of here, you bum. And she doesn't like him either. Like she'll get all riled up when he gets close. She'll like stand up on her legs and
like get out of here.
Yeah, no, she don't want no scrub.
Yeah. Now if the cat started singing Tommy the Cat, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, no, if he came out like Tom and Jerry with the bass is you I'm like, that's the one. That's
a lot of people don't know this, but you used to be a pet trainer.
I did, yeah. I used to be a dog trainer for a little bit of time, but I learned a lot, and I was happy that the place I went to, they did all positive training.
What's that?
Well, they didn't do corrections like leash training. There was no pulling. There was no hitting the dog in any type of way.
Now wait. I saw today there was a guy that had an adorable beagle, and he took his foot and he shoved the dog back inside the house and said, "Get inside the house." Was that a positive or negative way of doing things?
It was probably pretty negative for the
all right.
for the poor dog.
Okay, just
I mean, what I say is like it doesn't mean. Like some things, they'll tell me, I trained my dog that way, blah, 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 blah. It's not whether it works or not. You don't know what other behavior you're installing. Just like with kids, just like with anybody, when you use aggressive behavior, you don't know. Like with a dog, I remember the owner had worked, that I worked with. Like the reason he did this, all positive reinforcement, it was because he had worked in Miami at another place that did do pretty much all like a punishment,
Right.
So he says that there was one dog that they were using like like a shock collar.
Okay.
And the dog at one point just got so fed up with it, like he jumped up and bit the guy in the face.
Oh
you know
God,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like, so you don't know what with aggression. You're just installing aggression. You're teaching the wrong thing. You're teaching out of fear. But with positive reinforcement, all you're doing is when you do something good, something good's going to happen. You're going to get a treat. If you do something bad, you either don't get a treat or you don't get my attention or you don't get the thing that you want, right? But you don't have to. We didn't even place, because some trainers even like grab the dog and put him in place.
Mm-hmm.
We wouldn't even do that, because just like everybody, dogs, for me, have their own personality, have their own resilience.